News Center 25, your hometown news. With Jonathan McCall, Rissa Shaw, weather with Chief Meteorologist Bill Alexander, sports with Don Brubaker.
Fists go flying between two Crossroads football teams, and now police are getting involved. Good evening, I'm Rissa Shaw.
And I'm Jonathan McCall. Thanks so much for joining us for News Center 25 at 6 o'clock.
Some people see football as a sport, others see it as a way of life. And usually what happens on the field stays there. But last Friday, players let their emotions get the best of them.
That's right. The game between Edna and Yoka may have been decided on the field, but after the final whistle, the two teams added more highlights in a football fight that saw punches being thrown by both sides and now has questions being raised. It's new tonight at 6 o'clock, and first on News Center 25, Brian Wilk in Edna with more on this fist fight under the Friday night lights. Brian. So much right now. We're following some breaking news. Victoria police on the scene of a reported drug bust that's happening right now. This is all taking place at a home in the 200 block of North Cameron. We're told that Victoria police are currently executing a search warrant on the home. Crews on the scene also tell us so far 2 people have been detained. We'll continue to stay on top of this breaking news and have more information as soon as it becomes available to us. Meanwhile, tonight, Texas DPS troopers continued to investigate a single-car rollover that sent a man to the hospital last night. This all happened just after 9:30 on Highway 77 near J2 Ranch Road. Authorities say the driver rolled into a pasture on the opposite side of the highway and landed upright. The driver was taken to an area hospital with unknown injuries. Well, thanks so much. Victoria continues to flood from an economic boom that's hitting the Crossroads. And as that does happen, so does the need for improvements for infrastructure for the city and county. That was News Center 25's Amanda Brown reporting. Now, some good news in all this. Victoria County has been able to keep its tax rate the same since 2004, and the city tax rate has reduced by 10 cents over the last decade while being able to complete millions of dollars in projects.
You can see construction projects while driving up and down Navarro, proof positive that Victoria just continues to expand, and lately it's been going up.
That's right. If it's not the roads, it's businesses, even some restaurants, but lately it seems to be motels and hotels. Construction crews have already broken ground on 3 separate locations, all hotels, and there's even one yet to come. Welcome back, everyone. Bill joins us now with a look at the forecast. If you don't know where your ponchos, umbrellas, and galoshes are, find them quick.
Sweaters, jackets, get them out.
Or maybe a boat.
Here's a look at some of the stories you'll see tonight on News Center 25 at 10.
The search is on tonight for a missing Houston mom who vanished without a trace. We'll have the latest on the search.
Plus, it's something that makes Texans, well, Texans, but are we slowly losing it? The debate of where our twang is going. Be sure to join us for these stories, plus late breaking news, weather, and sports tonight on News Center 25 at 10 o'clock. I get asked that question all the time when I tell folks I'm from Texas.
That'll be a good one, right, y'all? That'll be a good story.
From the California.
Leave it to the California. Some people say I've lost it a long time ago, but that's a whole different issue.
All right, before we go, let's get a quick final check of your forecast with Bill.
Now, one thing we're not losing is our opportunities for rain. Tonight, that'll be tapering off, but returns tomorrow and then tomorrow night with a vengeance right on through Saturday night. In fact, another 2 to 4 inches in some locations. By Sunday, things will be clearing out, and next week looks splendid.
All right, let's get to the weekend.
Okay.
All right, that's our time for now. Be sure to join Emily for Fox News at 9. We'll see you back here at 10.
News Center 25, your hometown news. With Jonathan McCall, Rissa Shaw, weather with Chief Meteorologist Bill Alexander, sports with Don Brubaker.
Good evening, I'm Jonathan McCall. Thanks so much for joining us for News Center 25 at 10 o'clock. Rissa Shaw has the night off. We begin this Thursday in Edna, where we continue to learn new details into what triggered a Friday night football fight between the Edna Cowboys and the Yoakum Bulldogs last week. Tonight at 6, we first told you about the unwanted highlights that were made after the final whistle was blown. But tonight we're hearing from school leaders about what triggered the brawl and new changes in security. News Center 25's Brian Wilk spent the day in Edna and joins us in the studio with the latest. And Brian, we're still not even sure which side initiated the contact. Speaking of football, there was a real zebra sighting in Baltimore tonight. Well, it actually wasn't zebras, but the real NFL referees were back on the field after reaching a deal with the NFL on a new labor deal last night. We're going to have more on what players and other officials around the league are saying about the move a little bit later in the show. Switching gears now, prosecutors say they will seek the death penalty for the man charged with the murder of an El Campo mom and her 2 children. Yesterday, a Webb County grand jury indicted Damon Blunson on 2 counts of capital capital murder in the shooting deaths of his 1-year-old son Davion and the boy's 6-year-old half-brother Jaden Thompson back on June 19th. Officials say this is the first death penalty case in Webb County since 1991. Blunton also faces murder charges in Worden County for killing the children's mother and his girlfriend, 28-year-old Brandy Sherney. Sherney was found murdered later that day in a neighbor's barn some 200 miles away in El Campo. Police say Blunton shot both boys in a Laredo hotel and also shot Sherney. Meanwhile, the search is on for a missing Houston mom. Police say 31-year-old Michelle Warner was last seen at her apartment last Friday night. Her boyfriend told her family the two got into a fight that night and then walked off. But her brother says she would have never left without her 3-year-old son.
There's no way that she would have given him satisfaction to be able to leave, to go wherever with that child without her knowing it. She certainly would not have walked away without him, without her car.
Warner also has an 11-year-old daughter. Police searched her apartment and found bleach on the carpet and the hard drive ripped out from her computer. Also in Houston, a retired Houston firefighter turns the tables on 2 would-be burglars trying to break into his home, killing one of them. The firefighter says he, along with his sister and niece, were told to get on the floor at gunpoint last night. One of the suspects headed to the attic while another started ransacking the home. That's when the victim says he pulled his gun from his belt and started firing.
I did everything that they said, and when they took us in, one of them hit me in the head, and they made us lay down. One of them went up in the attic.
Amazing story there. After killing one of the suspects, the man and his family luckily made it out of the home safe. Police say as the second suspect was running out of the home, that's when the victim fired more shots, but he was able to get away. It's not known if the second suspect was hit by one of those bullets. Meanwhile, tonight, Texas DPS troopers continue to investigate a single-car rollover that sent a man to the hospital last night. This all happened just after 9:30 on Highway 77 near J2 Ranch Road. Authorities say the driver rolled into the pasture on the opposite side of the highway and landed upright. The driver was taken to an area hospital with unknown. We're just 40 days until the November elections, but early voting already underway in some key swing states. A day after going head-to-head in Ohio, President Obama and his GOP rival Mitt Romney were both spending the day in another key battleground state, this one, Virginia.
Unless you've been living under a rock or you didn't pay your cable bill, you may be aware that there's an election going on here in Virginia.
We've got to win in Virginia. I need your help to get the veterans here. We'll keep America the hope of the earth. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Polls right now show President Obama with a slim lead in the Old Dominion state and other battleground states as well. Yesterday, ABC News moved the state of Ohio from a toss-up territory to lean Obama right now. This puts President Obama with an estimated 255 electoral votes to Romney's 206. This according to new polls from ABC News. Meanwhile, the first of 3 presidential debates is just a few days away, but Camp Romney is apparently not feeling so sure of itself, according to a recently released memo about debates from Romney's longtime advisor Beth Myers. She says the president will likely win the first debates. According to Myers, President Obama is widely regarded as one of the most talented political communicators in modern history. In the memo, Myers says she does not believe the debates will decide the elections. The first debate will take place this coming Wednesday in Denver. Meanwhile, one big focus during the presidential election has been the economy. Here in the Crossroads, we're seeing a huge economic boom, but as the population grows, so does the need for improvements to the infrastructure. Right now, Victoria County and city leaders say they're completing projects that will appeal to the area while keeping debt and taxes low. Victoria County officials say they started the year with just over $11 million in debt for infrastructure improvements, but have since cut that down to $10.3 million. Right now, the city says they currently have $97 million dedicated to infrastructure projects. Officials say they have other projects they would like to tackle, but will be cautious while trying to tackle them. Meanwhile, the economic boom is also providing a housing crisis in the Crossroads. But right now, 3 hotel projects are currently underway along Navarro, and a 4th is on the way. The hotels will give Victoria an additional 400 new rooms, but most of the hotels won't be ready until next year. Some city leaders say it still won't be enough, though, but it will create more competitive pricing among those current hotels. First-time jobless claims fell last week to their lowest levels since July of last year. That's some good news there. Labor Department said today about 359,000 people filed for the claims. That's 26,000 less than last week, and it's a better number than many economists were anticipating. Jobless claims are usually tied to layoffs, so the news is an encouraging indicator. Meanwhile, the federal government is warning seniors of a scam that's targeting Social Security recipients. According to the Social Security Administration, thieves are getting their hands on your personal information like your name and bank account numbers, and then the crooks are rerouting your benefits to their own bank accounts and prepaid debit cards. SSA says the scam is increasing as they switch from mailing paper checks to direct deposit for those benefits. Meanwhile, a scam here at home has a Victoria man out $3,000 and police urging people to be on the lookout to avoid becoming a next victim. Police say last month a 62-year-old Victoria man was approached by a black man in the parking lot of the Home Depot. The alleged scammer told the man he was from another country and had recently inherited a large sum of money, but was told not to trust American banks. The victim says the suspect convinced him to go to his own bank and take out $3,000. Police believe as many as 3 suspects could be involved in the scam. Here's a description of 2 of them. Police say the man who scammed the victim is described as an African-American male in his 40s to 50s, wearing a gold shirt with a blue tie, black dress pants, and a maroon baseball cap with a gold seal that was on the bill, and he also spoke with an African accent. A second black male was also seen wearing a black shirt, black dress pants, and a black hat with the brim that was rolled up. Now, anybody with any information is asked to call Victoria Police Investigations. That number, 361-485-3730, or you can call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. New tonight at 10 o'clock, we're following a developing story from California. The man that was behind that anti-Muslim film that sparked worldwide protests has been placed behind bars. This evening, 55-year-old Nakula Basili Nakula was arrested by federal authorities for violating the terms of his probation. Nakula is on probation for a 2010 federal check fraud conviction. His film, Innocence of Muslim, ignited violent protests of U.S. embassies around the Arab world. The movie depicts the Prophet Muhammad as a womanizer, religious fraud, and a child molester. Also in California, a disturbing story involving a star of the hit show Sons of Anarchy. Police say actor Johnny Lewis beat his elderly landlady to death before falling to his own. Authorities are still trying to piece together what triggered the violent rampage, but believe drugs may have been involved. According to the coroner's report, the 81-year-old woman died from blunt head trauma and was also strangled. Investigators say after killing the woman, Lewis fell to his death as he tried to escape from police. Meanwhile, another mystery that has baffled authorities for decades may be lying underneath a Michigan driveway. Police near Detroit are currently watching a driveway after receiving word that the body of Jimmy Hoffa could be buried there. State officials are planning to take soil samples tomorrow to see if there's any human decomposition. This is just the latest report of a possible Hoffa burial site. According to authorities, they say they're searching under a backyard pool and under the floor of the home and a horse farm near the city. Hoffa was last seen in July of 1975 outside a Detroit restaurant.
Weather with Chief Meteorologist Bill Alexander.
Welcome back, everyone. Bill joins us now with a look at the forecast. We've been tracking storms over the last couple of hours, and it's going to get even wetter over the next couple of days.
Telling you, I was a little bit surprised at some of the rainfall totals I saw down near Blooming today. Measured 4.25 inches from our old friend Jerry Ray, and up to 10 inches indicated by Doppler radar. And that's just the first wave. We got a lot more coming, folks, and it's going to be a soaker on Saturday and Saturday night.
They definitely need to get the squeegee out and wring it out.
And some high waters. Yeah. Let's take a look and see what's going on.
You mentioned the fact down in Bloomington they're already seeing some ponding, some street level flooding there. Will that trigger, or will the rest of the area see that as well over the next couple of days?
Over the next couple of days, because we haven't had a lot of rain, our flood potential is around 3.5 inches, but some areas are not only going to see some ponding, but then we'll have riverine flooding, especially from I-10 southward along the Guadalupe. We'll be watching that very carefully.
Yeah, we definitely will, Bill. Thanks so much.
All right.
All right, everyone, straight ahead tonight on News Center 25 at 10 o'clock. It's something that makes us Texans. We're talking about our twang, but are we losing it? We're going to talk a little bit about what a new study has found out coming up in just a few minutes. But first, here are your lotto numbers. Good luck, everyone. All right, going anywhere in the country, most people think of Texas. When they think of Texas, they usually think of cowboys, horses, some barbecue, and maybe that good old Texas twang. But did you know a new study says Texans may be losing their distinctive dialect? Researchers at the University of Texas are asking that question through a new Texas English project. According to the study, urbanization, technology, and the influx of newcomers are all contributing to the erosion of the Texas twang.
I think Texans have lost their twang, yes. If you really want to hear the twang of Texas, you got to go out to the outskirts, Johnson County, Wise County.
I don't know that I have that much twang, but I don't think that people have lost their twang.
I lost my twang, but Texas as a whole, I don't think it's lost it.
Something we do want to know, what do you guys think? Do you think Texans have lost their twang? We posted this question on our Facebook page right now. Join in on the conversation that's going on right now. A lot of people, when they hear me, don't think I'm even from Texas. So go figure that. All right, something that is no longer lost these days, NFL referees. And for football fans, the men in stripes couldn't hit the field soon enough. After Monday night's debacle, the push was on to get the real refs back working. And finally, the NFL and the refs were able to end their 3-month lockout last night. ABC's Paul Beeben has reaction, some good reaction from around the league.
New York.
I think everyone is safely happy to have those real refs back on the field. You know what? I feel real bad for the Packers because I have this feeling they're going to lose the division by 1 game.
And if that happened, oh, will there be a cry of outrage from Cheesehead Land? By the way, with the real refs tonight, the Ravens are leading the Browns 23-13, 6 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
They may be able to put those bad, worst call ever t-shirts to good use then.
Yes, put them over the
One more look at your 7-day forecast. Pretty nice night tonight, a little bit humid. Scattered thunderstorms tomorrow, ramping up tomorrow night. So if you have outdoor activities Friday and then all day Saturday into Saturday night, you better plan for Plan B because it's going to be a soaker. Back to you, Jonathan.
And we'll definitely be tracking that over the next
Certainly
couple of days.
will.
All right, Bill, thanks so much. That is our time for now, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for News Center 25 at 10. Shauna and Trey have the news on Sunrise starting tomorrow morning at 5:30. We'll see you again tomorrow at 6 and 10. Have a good one.